today we are going to understand that how the sound is important, not only from the spiritual side, also that there are many researches comes up from the Western world with the name of the sound healing, where many people are able to heal the chronic diseases like autoimmune, cancer, Alzheimer's, just by using the sound. So how this incorporate and it work together with the spiritual knowledge, this we are going to understand today, and then I'm going to give you an experience of the sound healing so that you may have an experience of how it feels like. It is just a big talk, or either it can give you some kind of experience in your life. So if you see the sound, like in Vedic knowledge, Vedas are the ancient scripture, the first script, oldest scripture available on the earth, Veda. Veda, if we translate into English language, is meaning is the Vedas are the knowledge. So it is the first knowledge comes on the Mother Earth. Ancient time, millions of years back, we are not able to suggest the age of that scripture. It says that in the beginning of the universe, that scriptures comes through the sages, like when they did into meditation practices, they heard some sounds within. When they heard some sounds within, they converted those sounds, those frequencies into the language, first time in the world. At that time, it was the first language of the world, it was Sanskrit language. Later on, it became Pali. So we have all the Buddhist scriptures in Pali language. And now it become Hindi. And if you will see, either it is German, like the Latin language, like all the languages are somehow having some base to the Sanskrit language. Right. So, like the first scripture, which comes like there are 4 Vedas. Actually, it is 3 Vedas. The 4th one compiled later on after many years. Like they thought that it is very complicated to understand. So they compiled. They took some verses from the other Veda and made another 4th Veda. Actually, the Vedas are 3. But the first Veda is known as the Rig Veda. So Rig Veda was the first book in the world in which all the divine knowledge, all the ancient knowledge, either it is a holistically, everything is written there. It is divided into 2 parts majorly. Although the chapters called as a Shruti, Smriti, Upanishad, like the different chapters are there, but also it is divided into 2 parts. The knowledge of the divine word, like how the spiritual laws are applied on us. Like we say in Vedas that the God is not running this whole world. Sometimes we are complaining that why something is happening to me, why everything happens to me, why don't if the God exists, then why all the evil things are happening in this world? But that one power to whom we know with the name God, or we may call it Allah, or with any name we may call that one power created some laws. By using those laws, the whole world is moving forward. So it is like how good or bad person we are. If we interfere with those laws, we get the consequence of it. It doesn't matter. It is like the law of gravity. If somebody will say that I don't believe in law of gravity, then okay, you don't believe, but it is already applied on you. Right? Same way, the Vedic knowledge is very like a scientific principles are there. If you do this, you will get this. For example, the law of karma. Initially people don't believe into the incarnations of the human beings, that we may have many incarnations. Now people come up with the research, and there is a beautiful book, Many Masters, Many Lives, by Brian Weiss, in which he talks about the past life experiences with the people which he did. He was a psychologist. He bring the people into past lives. So if we don't have the incarnations, then how we had the past lives nowadays, which the psychologists are also using in modern times. So of course we are carrying all those knowledge into our mind. There is a part which is called as the chitta in our mind. Chitta is the hard drive of the mind, right? Which carries all the memories of the past. This is how, just by having the access to the, our chitta, we are able to see those things. Not only at the time of the past life regression. How many of you had a dream ever, like when you are sleeping? Have you had any dream? Have you seen some people in the dream to whom you never seen before? Have you had those experiences? From where those people come? those people come from your chitta, from your previous lives. It doesn't mean that those people don't exist. Those people exist, but into your previous life. So initially, when the soul took the birth first time on the universe, the mind has been given to us. And since then till now, how many lives number of lives lives we had in the previous lives, all those lives are stored there into Chitta, like a movie. All the emotions are there. So sometime in our life, if something happened in the past, those patterns we are carrying, those patterns from the previous life, like habits from the previous life, the scarcity from the previous life, or emotions from the previous life, known as the sanskaras in Sanskrit. Sanskaras means the habits from the previous life. If you will read the scripture, which is known as the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is the very famous text on the Hatha Yoga, the first, the definition of the yoga there, which is the second verse in the scripture, is Yogshri chitta vritti nirodha. I will explain it to you. I will break it down first, because Sanskrit is written into a combined manner. So in chanting we say Yogshri chitta vritti nirodha, but I will break it down. When we break it down, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. Yoga means the yoga. Right? The yoga, union, right? Chitta, you understand the chitta now. It means the hard drive of the memory, all the previous knowledge, previous emotions, good and bad, everything is stored here into this memory. Yoga, chitta, vritti, habits and the memories, nirodha, removes. It means when a person is doing the yoga, nowadays the yoga is just a physical exercises. This is also what we are doing is also known as the nada yoga, yoga of the sound, right? So yoga is not just the asana. Asana is just a part. It is known as the physical exercise is known as the asana. It means the physical exercise. Yoga means according to Patanjali, is 8 steps. When we are doing the yama, niyama, it means self-discipline, social discipline, yama, niyama, asana, one part like physical exercises, pranayama, breathing exercises, pratyahara, withdrawal of the 5 senses, dharana, dhyana and samadhi, which is the meditative side. So this is known as the yoga. So when a person is applying a yoga, like complete yoga into the life, what's going to happen then? Or the mind will get purified. How? By removing all the previous memories, previous emotions, whatsoever are disturbing us in this life. It will get removed from there. This is how it works. Sometimes some people have the phobia, right? Phobia from the heights, phobia from the water. From where it comes? It comes from the previous lives. Because maybe somebody, some people even, they can't go inside the lift. They feel so much stress. They said, no, I will use the lift, doesn't matter, but I cannot go inside. It is happening because they have some kind of very deep emotions of that particular situation from the previous life. It is not that they must be a human being and that's why no, maybe they are a rat. The person was a rat before and stuck and died there with a suffocation. Maybe not in the lift, maybe suffocated into a box or somewhere. That emotion which we are carrying are still there into our chitta, right? So when I am using the word nada yoga, nada means the sound in Sanskrit language. Now we think that it is something related to the Hinduism. It is not related to the Hinduism only. The sound is the very existence of the human birth. We exist because of the sound. I am not only saying it, Hindu scriptures are not only saying it, all the civilizations in the world, all the religions, all the philosophers in the world are talking about that truth. If you will suppose read the Bible, the first verse in the Bible is written by Saint John. And the Saint John in the Bible said, he said, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That word is considered as a nada, right? And if you literally convert that word into the Hindi word, Hindi dictionary, it is known as the Shabd. And in Sikh scripture, the people who are Hindu people wear the turban. It is a new religion, very newest religion in the world. The people who are wearing the turban. In their scripture, they compiled all the previous knowledge into the new scripture, the new language, in a modern language in that time. Although it is 500 years back, almost written, but it is all even new. If we compare from the Buddhism, it is 2500 years back. So language, Pali language is maybe misunderstood. But so they created into a very new language. So in their scripture it is written Shabd Dharti Shabd. It means a word. Shabd Dharti. Dharti means the earth. It means the earth exists because of the word, because of the sound. Shabd Dharti. Shabd Akash. Akash means the space. It means the sound created the space. Shabd Dharti. Shabd Akash. Shabde, Shabd Bhaya Prakash, because of the Shabd and Shabd, it means the sound and sound. The whole universe exists. Shabde, Shabd Bhaya Prakash, and the light in this universe. Sagli, Srisht, Srisht means the whole universe. Sagli means whole. Srisht means the whole universe. Shabad ke pache exists because of the word or the nada or the sound. Nanak, who is the first guru of the Sikh people, Ghate Ghatache, Ghat. In yogic scripture we call the Ghat to this human body, we call it the Ghat. Ghate Ghatache means it exists in every human form. In Islam, we call the sound as a Kalima, Nade Asmani, Nadae Sultani. These are the words written into the Holy Quran, which having the same meaning, literally the same meaning, is the sound. Kalima. In Chinese tradition, we call it the Tao. Tao, actually, if you will see, is having a literally the meaning of the Shabd or the word or the Nada or the sound. The same. If you will see the very old religion, Judaism. In Judaism, they call it the Sarosh. The Theosophical Society call it the music of the silence. Right? So in different languages, people give it a different name. For example, the water. We call the water in English, and in Thai language we call it the Nam. In Hindi language we call it the Jal. But the element is the same. The same way they have given the different names as per the language to the Nad, to the sound. Like the Hindu people call it Nad or the sound. In different tradition we call it differently. And when we talk about the modern science, you see the electricity, the alternative current is created by Nikola Tesla, who was a very famous, not at that time, but now he is very famous because the people, get to know about him by watching his documentaries. He said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in the terms of sound, frequency, and vibration. And this was his base through which he created all the inventions. Nowadays we are using the technology with the iPhone that you don't need to plug your phone, you just need to keep your phone over the charger. This is a technology actually created by him way before. Even like they said that he created the free electricity for the people, in a way back. And the basis of everything was like what he understands, that the sound, frequency and vibration, if you are able to think in that term about the word, it is the magic. And surprisingly, he was also having some spiritual roots. You may think that why I am talking too much about the spirituality. This scientist, a very famous scientist, having the spiritual roots. What are the spiritual roots? Like he was the disciple of Swami Vivekananda from India. Swami Vivekananda went to America. He had a meeting with him in America, and he was stuck at that time into some questions about the some principles that how the universe works. And when he had a talk with him, he explained him some scriptures, and he explained him a scripture known as the Nada Bindu Upanishad. Nada, of course, the sound. Bindu means the focal point. Upanishad is a part of the first Veda, Rig Veda. He taught him this scripture. And then he decoded many things that, this is how the universe works. So scientists are not creating something new. They are utilizing whatsoever we have. They are not creating anything new. They utilize. In order to utilize, they need to have that knowledge. Now, how it is this? Now I have put it so many balls in front of you. How it is useful for us? The scientists recently did the research. Like the Dalai Lama, like he encouraged the Buddhist monks to donate their brains to the science. So some of the monks, they collaborated with the Western scientists, and they went to the Western world with the universities, with the research centers, and they recorded their brain frequencies. When they put some electrodes into their brain, and they recorded what exactly is happening at the time of the meditation, when they are doing the meditation. Right? So when they sit into meditation, they started recording something. And they come up with a very unique result. They said, okay, the brain waves get settled down when they are doing the meditation. With any technique, if you are doing the meditation, the brain waves get settled down. For example, if a person is into the stress, or right now you are sitting here, you are so much into concentration that you are listening, you are observing, concentration level is right now high. So before sitting in the meditation, you need to increase the concentration level. Right now, when you are sitting here listening to me, actually your brain waves are into beta waves. We call it the beta sound waves. So it is vibrating inside. The neurons are sending, like an orchestra, sending many messages to the body to understand. Many things are happening inside without we know about it consciously, but many things are happening. Our neurons are processing it. When my voice is hitting to your eardrum, what happens? It is a vibration actually, the sound vibration. It is actually sending the messages to your neurons, and those neurons are creating kind of orchestra to restore that memory, to reconfirm that memory with the previous knowledge. Like I talked about Nikola Tesla. So you know about Nikola Tesla. How you know that you know about Nikola Tesla? By understanding, by listening this word Nikola Tesla, the previous knowledge that your neurons, send a message to your chitta, to your memory, that hey, do you know about it? Yeah. So confirmation comes from this idea that Nikola Tesla was a scientist, right? So this is how it works. So they said when the person is in a high concentration level, the brain vibrates into beta waves. So in the beta wave, we are sitting here, we are very much concentrated as per the spiritual side. Sometimes our brain gets slowed down, we are very much relaxed. Suppose if you go for a massage, or hot oil massage or something, your body will get relaxed, isn't it? So when we are relaxed, we feel relaxed. At that time, our brain frequencies goes more down and we reach into the alpha state. We call it the alpha state. Right? Even every night, before falling to the sleep, you reach into alpha state. If you are not able to reach into alpha state, you cannot fall in sleep. Why? Because it is a time when you lay down, you can't sleep. First your body gets relaxed, you feel comfortable in the bed, and then your body gets relaxed. When your body feels relaxed, then automatically your brain waves get changed and it becomes the alpha. It will start vibrating into alpha. And then when we sleep into deep sleep, it becomes the delta. Right? So if somebody is having an insomnia problem, like not able to sleep properly, it means what? It means having the two problems. Either the brain which is vibrating very high, we are not able to slow down the brain. And in the meditation, what happens is the brain goes into a theta sound wave, like a theta stage. So, and the science says that there is the power known as the power of resonation. They say that everything in the universe is vibrating with each other. It's a physics law. If there is a 10-wall clock having the pendulum moving together, if it disturbs their pendulum, you will see they will start moving together after some time. How it works? It works with the power of resonation. It means each and everything is resonating with each other. You remember in the older time, if ever you see that when people broke their bones, like somebody broke, fall down, broke their hand, immediately they don't go for the X-rays. The doctor was, if you remember, carrying the tuning fork, and he was hitting it to the bed and moving around the bone. So if the person is saying, "Oh, pain," then doctor is saying, "Okay, go for the X-ray. Your bone is already broken. I want to see it." Nowadays it is very easy that everyone they are sending for the X-ray, because it is not, the X-rays are not good for our body, right? So they are very much careful about it. They hit the tuning fork and check with it. What happened at that time, like why they are checking with the tuning fork, doctors are checking with the tuning fork. It is because when they are hitting a tuning fork and moving around the hand, like inside the bore also started vibrating. When it vibrates inside, if it is broken, then it will create a pain, and doctor understands that, oh, you are having a broken bone, you need to have an X-ray. So this is known as the power of resonation. One more research, the doctors come back with it. They said to slow down the brain, if I am putting up the 200 hertz frequency from here and 205 hertz frequency from other side, the brain will perceive the 5 hertz frequency. This is how they slow down the brain. Got my point? So they call it the binaural waves. It means if from one ear, if I will give you a 200 hertz frequency, with the another ear I will give you the 205 hertz frequency, your brain will vibrate into 5 hertz. This was the magical, innovation in the science. Like when they come up with those results, it was a magic in the sound healing industry. They said, oh, we decoded something. This is how it works. Before they are trying to understand it, how it works, how people are getting healed. But when they come up with the binaural beats, they understand, oh, this is how it works. So to slow down the brain, nowadays the stress levels are very high. If you will ask me that why people are majorly, people are coming for the sound healing is majorly for the physical disease or the mental disease, emotional disease. Majorly. So you see only stomach and head. If you will ask me, okay, tell me two, stomach and head. Two things are in. If your stomach is okay, if digestive fire is good, then automatically, organs and everything will work in a better way. If the mind is working in the right way, this area, this compartment is working right, then of course everything is working right. So we are lucky that we are able to work upon everything almost now with the sound.
The highest level is the beta level, you say?
No, above the beta we have the gamma waves. When the person is in stress, anxiety, depression, the brain is vibrating more powerfully than beta. It is then we slow down the brain without giving any medicine, without giving any drugs. I remember in September when I came here and did this kind of session, I think we are having 30-35 people, like we need to put some chairs here because it was the first time something like this was happening in the center. And I remember one lady, she was a healer, I don't know her name, Natalie. She come on the wheelchair. So one person bring her on the wheelchair. She was there, I remember. She lay down there and I played the sound and she asked me after that so much release, so much tears started coming out. And she said, do you think I will recover again? She was a healer before. She was doing the Reiki healing and other healings. And she said, I'm on the wheelchair. What to do? She gone through the long COVID situation. And luckily, like 2 weeks back, when she come back to me, the recovery was better, and she was with the crutches. She came and she lay down here. I did a session with her. The next session, next week when she comes, at that time she said that, oh my God, it was so much pain. I was uneasy, I was feeling uneasy, she said. So I told her that whenever you shift from one frequency to the another frequency, it is uncomfortable, it is not always comfortable, right? So it will give you the result, don't worry. You will come back to me with the result. And then next time when she comes, I think 3 days back, she came without the crutches. She walked by herself for the healing session and she said, wow, after going back home, like I just throw it out and I feel that only one session given me the result.
So this 3 days ago.
Yeah, 3 days ago she came. So the magic is this: today your homework is, I'm already giving the homework, go back home, search on the YouTube, TED Talks on Sound Healing. TED Talks on Sound Healing, because I'm not the scientist, I'm a spiritual scientist, I'm working from the spiritual side. But if you want to listen to scientists and you want to understand the research over it, just search TED Talks on the sound healing, and then you will be able to see that how they come up with the results, they come up with the clinical results, that how they have resolved the very severe disease like autoimmune, cancer, Alzheimer's. Like I saw a TED Talk in which the lady in 13 weeks she recovered 100% from the Alzheimer. 100%. Like she come on the stage by running, and she said, see, the doctor was speaking first, two doctors were speaking first, and then they just had a picture of her, and then they surprised everyone. The lady, the same lady, she was on the wheelchair, was running. So this is a wonderful research. Like this is the era. Like earlier, people were thinking the science is opposite to the spirituality. It is not. This is the era we are in, where the science is collaborating with the spirituality and trying to understand. Like it is a cooperation which is going on. We are in a very wonderful era where the West is collaborating with the East, and we are getting the benefits of their knowledge. They are getting the benefits of our knowledge. We are into a beautiful era now.
So you need to use all the bowls for each one has a different body, unique body type. So is it like all bowls together is required?
No, it is not required. Actually, you just require a 4-ball if you just want to use it for general well-being of the family. Only the 4 balls are required. The 4 balls, like we have the level 1 kit. By using those 4 balls, I'm teaching like a diploma which is known as the professional diploma in sound healing level 1. So we have the written manuals for it, and the diploma is accredited by the Maharishi European Research University, Netherlands. So in this you will learn with the 4 balls, 18 protocols how you are able to resolve many diseases from the house. For example, if anybody in the house is having fever, cough and cold, just by using the singing ball, you are able to release the fever, cough and cold. Somebody is having a frozen shoulder, you don't need to go to the therapist. Just by using one particular ball, you are able to resolve the frozen shoulder. Somebody is having a lower back pain, menstrual pain, you are able to release it. Somebody is having a stomach imbalances, like digestive imbalances, you are able to release it. Somebody is having the migraine pain, you can resolve it permanently. Somebody is having the feats of the epilepsy, ADHD kids, you are able to resolve it. So what we did is we don't want to push those balls to you that you may buy so many balls. It is expensive tools because having a fixed frequency, each and every ball we make it with a fixed frequency, that specific frequency they are producing. So we don't want to sell more balls. We want to give you less tools but more users of it. So in level 1 you learn the 18 protocols just by using the 4 singing balls. You can relax anybody. If somebody in the family is always carrying so much stress, anxiety issues, just give them the brainwave relaxation. You can bring that person into the alpha mode. Very easily they will get relaxed.
So, and I just want to know, do you need to have a connection with the person when you're doing it, or it's something which
Of course, a person should be in front of you. Of course, a person needs to be in front of you. Or otherwise, if you are using it electronically, like for example, you are using the Zoom or other platforms to give the healing to someone from a distance, you need to use specific, very particular speakers and the gadgets you need. Then very specific gadgets like the high frequencies, specific speakers on each and every ball. We are doing it from the distance also, but it should not be from the YouTube or something, because YouTube is not a platform. It is not a music platform, it is an entertainment platform. So when you upload something there, it decreases the quality at that time. You upload something and download something from YouTube, you will see the quality is already decreased. You put a HD video there, it will decrease.
No, I mean to say like the belief between the two people when you're doing it. Sometimes like for example, if I want to do it with my son, and the young generation, they don't relate.
They trust you.
Yeah. So when you're trying to heal them, it's
the
like,
results are there. It doesn't matter they believe into this or not. You cannot resist with the sound. For example, if I will start playing here a very painful song, automatically your heart starts syncing up. But if I will play here a very pop music, automatically your legs start moving with the music. So even our words are the sound. Again, you speak something good to the people, like they feel good. If somebody will, speak something bad, like then, of course we don't. So sound affects us in any way, everywhere. Nobody can resist. Like many people come to me with a challenge. They say that, okay, I am this, I will see that what you are doing this, that. Within 2 minutes they are gone. It is like a out of body experience. So when we started playing the singing ball, maybe 2 or 3 minutes they are there. After that they are gone. Like somewhere like the brain totally shut it down. Like there is no thoughts. they had some out of body experience like astral plane they are in, and they see some colors, visuals, many things, many pictures comes. And when we ask them to now come back, we play this bell, like today also I will use it at the end, like this is to call you back from there. Then they say, oh my God, where I was. And even they forget the time, because the time here is different than the astral plane time. Generally, like if today even, you will not able to understand that how much time it took. You will not able to understand. Why? Because if you really reach to the meditative stage, the time calculation there is very different. In every plane, every realm, we have a different time calculation. Right? So quickly I request you to just lay down, your head should be towards the ball. Use your blindfold. If you are wearing any watch, any electronic gadgets, just remove it. Any crystals, please remove it. Your hands facing upwards towards like in Shavasana.